I think most of you heard about behavioral interviews and the competency-based behavioral interviews. However, not many know what exactly the behavioral interview means. A behavioral interview is a job interviewing technique when a candidate is being asked specific questions to describe their past behavior. Since your past can be an indication of your future performance, it helps the recruiters to determine whether you are the right fit for the interviewed role. How about the competency-based behavioral interviews? It is the same interviewing technique, but instead of focusing on the past behavior, it is directed towards evaluating a specific competency. A competency, which is a set of behavior, skills, and knowledges defined to perform the tasks successfully at the job. Which means such questions require a lot more effort rather than just answering yes or no. If we haven't met before, I'm Marat from EMMOTION, myemotion.com, human resources and career services agency. Look me up on LinkedIn. On this channel, I train and coach you to ace your job interviews fast, to gain confidence as a professional, and learn to deal with corporate politics, being a better person yourself first.
This guide includes best ways to respond to 5 most frequently asked job interview questions, such as why should we hire you? Why do you want to work here? What are your greatest strengths? What are your greatest weaknesses? And the must-be answered tell me about yourself question. It also includes examples of answers for each question for different professional profiles with and without professional experience. These examples could be easily used in your job interviews.
Every job interview process is about why should we hire you and not somebody else. Why are you the best candidate for the job? That's why the majority of employers will ask you why should we hire you question, sometimes with slight variations such as why are you the best candidate for the job? Why are you the right fit for the position? What would you bring to the position? What places you above other candidates who applied for the job? In this video, I'd like to guide you through the easiest why should we hire you answer formula. If you stick with me till the end of this video, I'll provide you with 3 adaptable answer examples to why should we hire you question, which could be helpful during your job interviews. Most of the interviewers know very well what would the best candidate for the position be, because they know what the company's real needs are. Your reply is an opportunity for you to really present yourself as an ideal candidate, because this is what the hiring manager expects you to do. Thinking through your response to why are you the best candidate for the role question will also help you to reply other job interview questions. Here comes the easiest answer formula, which would help you to prepare your winning response in just 4 steps. Step number 1. Do your research. Research the company. Find out about its current missions, goals, and challenges. Study the job description. What are the key qualifications and contributions is the employer looking for in the candidate? In which of these areas does your profile really stand out? Step number 2. Highlight your strength. Don't write a script to memorize. You should be comfortable with just mentioning 3-4 highlights of why you are an excellent fit, and a brief explanation or an example to back it up. Keep these highlights and examples short and concise. You don't need to be pointing out every skill and accomplishment on your resume. Concentrate on what sets you apart from the competition. This summary should be about a minute or less. Practice your answer. Once you feel good about the points you make and the examples you give, practice. Again, you don't need to be memorizing the whole script. It might make you more nervous and add an extra pressure to remember the specific wording. A great way of practicing would be recording your answer, so you, and maybe a few trusted people, could evaluate its impact. Your response should effectively showcase your unique qualifications for the position. Show enthusiasm. Coming across confident and enthusiastic when delivering your answer is a real key. Experience and qualifications are really important, but the right attitude will place you above many candidates with similar professional background. And now, just as I promised, these are 3 adaptable examples which you could use while putting up together your response. Examples for professionals with and without professional experience.
When I read the job posting, I noticed that you specifically mentioned you were looking for someone with project management experience. As you can check, I have over 10 years of experience as a project manager. What really sets me apart from other candidates and will make me a valuable addition to your team is my ability to combine project management with my people skills. I value lasting relationships, and I actively seek to build those with developers, vendors, and senior managers alike. I enjoy interacting with customers and know that a happy customer is a repeat customer. My passion for the industry and for the job I do makes me deliver 100% every day. My profile and experience is very related to technology. I think that my ability to manage content, update websites, and social media makes me a good match for this position. In my most recent position, I was responsible for maintaining our department's website. This required updating information on products, services, and social media profiles, also posting information about upcoming events. I really enjoy doing this work. In my free time, I'm also learning new programming languages. I use these skills to update our homepage, which is always valued by my management. I would love to bring my knowledge and my general passion for learning new technologies to this position. The reason that I applied to this position is because the qualifications match my strength perfectly. I'm good at managing multiple tasks, I'm very detail-oriented, and I organize my time very efficiently. Yes, many people have these qualities, but if I were in your position, I would hire myself because of the passion I have for this industry and because of my optimistic personality. My education, background, and strength show that I can do this job. My goal is to make more of an impact than just doing my job, to do whatever it takes to improve the company.
Thanks for watching. If you know someone that might be interested in the video, feel free to share it with them. If you're here, you already know about the importance of properly preparing for a job interview. And you may have gone a few "Why do you want to work here?" videos, wondering why does it have to be so complicated? It's actually a lot less complicated than you think if you put yourself into a position of a recruiter or a hiring manager. Every bad hiring decision has high costs for the company and for the department. So the idea behind each hiring is to find someone who fits the company culture, who is motivated and who would enjoy the job. After years of recruiting experience, I still come across candidates who have no idea why they are interested in joining the company, which eventually leads to not making it to the next stage. I'd appreciate if you hit the subscribe button below so you won't miss out on the latest career and personal growth content. Why do you want to work here question can also be rephrased as why are you interested in this job or why do you want to work for this company? This is an ideal question to give you an advantage over the less prepared candidates. Let's quickly check the answers that you shouldn't give, even though you might want to. I need the money. Of course, money is important. Everyone needs the money, but you shouldn't state it as your main motivation if you really want the job. I hate my job. Never badmouth your current job, even if you hate it. Hiring managers don't need to feel used as an escape from your current position. Some other answers I heard which never leave a good impression. I am or I feel bored. It looks like a nice building to work. I heard the benefits are great. I don't want to move back to my parents. You can easily build a foundation for your answers by doing a previous research and demonstrating your genuine interest. Let's go through the aspects of the company or the job that are appealing to you and why in just 3 steps. Step 1. Analyze the job description. What are they looking for? How do you match or exceed these requirements? Write down or remember your matching skills and accomplishments for each requirement. This would demonstrate your value. Step 2. Get to know the company. Research the company and learn more about them. Get to know the company's culture, their products, their goals. It would make it easier to talk about your fit and how you feel identified with them. Step 3. Research the interviewers. You should know the name and the job title of the person or people that are interviewing you. Make a Google search on them. Check out their LinkedIn profiles to learn more about them. This will help you to connect with them better during the interview. You might share points in common, interests, or even contacts. It would make the whole interview so much easier. Why do you want to work here question is not about you at all. It is about convincing the interviewer that hiring you would benefit the company. So together with this question, you should also have your answers too. Tell me about yourself. Why should we hire you? What are your greatest strengths or what are your greatest weaknesses? Just as I promised, here are 4 sample answers which could fit with your interview or your situation. To me, your company's reputation is definitely an important factor. I would be proud to work for a company with such an impressive growth story. I've also used your products for many years and I've always been very impressed with the innovations and consistent concern for helping your customers learn how to use them effectively. You are also known for making a commitment to bettering the community. I would love the opportunity to use my 10 years of experience in advertising and marketing to better this community with you. I admire your company's flexibility in adapting to different clients and markets. When I read the job description for the role, one of the things that particularly appealed to me was that it has a strong focus on international sales and expansion, which is perfectly suited to my strength. Having worked in international sales for different markets during the past 5 years, I know I can help this company to achieve its goals. I always met or exceeded my targets. Last year, for example, I led my team to exceed our sales projections by 25%, and this was during a very difficult market time. I've been looking for a job in a successful organization, and needless to say that I was very excited when I saw you were hiring for this role. I'm honestly impressed by your company's constant investments in sustainability. I feel that it's extremely important for making a positive impact on the environment, and I feel completely identified with it. I also understand that you seek an individual with outstanding leadership skills. I have extensive experience in building and leading teams to success, and I truly enjoy helping people work hard and achieve their goals. I also have strong communication abilities. I noticed that your company values individuals who are able to effectively communicate unique and creative ideas. I'm interested in bringing my areas of expertise to this company to help and lead projects. I'll help the team to meet its goals quicker and with higher quality. Before having been reached by you about this opportunity, I must admit I didn't know much about your company. I've been doing some research to find out more about the company before discussing this role further, and I need to say that I'm very impressed by what you've done and by your vision for the future. I'm genuinely interested in getting more involved in product development, and I read that you are growing in that area. As an experienced product manager with an emphasis in technology, I know I can bring a lot of value to the company. Thanks for watching. Please thumb up the video and subscribe to EMMOTION by Marat by using the subscribe button below. What are your strengths is a classic interview question which is being asked nearly in every single interview. It seems simple, but it isn't. It requires a balance between not appearing too humble and underselling your skills, and in between selling yourself too much, coming across arrogant and self-interested. This is the reason why most candidates don't answer well. Today I'd like to guide you through what are your greatest or biggest strength interview question. I'm also sharing with you 4 adaptable examples of greatest strength which you could easily use during your job interviews, or which could serve you as an inspiration to come up with your perfect answer. Let's prepare to this question properly and turn it into a great advantage. What are your biggest strength question can also be asked in other similar ways. What are you good at and how would you apply that to this role? What do you feel sets you apart from the competition? What would your colleagues say you bring to a team? What accomplishments are you most proud of, etc. The interviewer wants to know how would your strength translate to the job you have applied for. It's your moment to demonstrate this connection and reassure them in being a strong candidate. Here's an important checklist before we proceed to full examples. Analyze yourself and be honest with your answer. Choose strength which you actually possess. Knowing your strength will serve you well in your job interviews and in the rest of your life too. Keep it to a couple of strengths. It will make your job interview preparation easier. It's about your strength and not the achievements. Make sure you separate them. Find out what is important for this role. Take a close look at the job description. Find out what the job requires and what is important to the company. The idea is being honest and giving the company what they respond best to. Demonstrate your ability to settle into the job faster and perform better than other candidates. Don't raise red flags. Saying that your greatest strength is the ability to show up on time, for example, wouldn't do you any favors. Prepare specific and detailed examples. Giving a detailed example makes your answer powerful. Don't wait for your interviewer to ask you to elaborate on your strength. Many times they wouldn't bother. Talk about how you use this strength to achieve a specific result. Be prepared for the follow-up questions, like how did you use this strength in your previous position? Here are a few examples, some of which can be easily adapted to your profile.
I feel I'm really customer-oriented. I'm good in interacting with people and helping them solve their doubts or problems, whether it's in person, on the phone, via email or online messaging. I've been an online customer service manager for over 2 years and I enjoy dealing with people around the world. My employer has high standards for customer satisfaction. My team and I have been trained to diffuse angry customers so they can be helped and even be satisfied with our services. We are measured on how satisfied people are after they've spoken to us, and if they purchase additional products or services as a result of our interactions. I'm proud to say that my team and I are among the leaders within the company. I pride myself on my leadership and my team management skills. My leadership skills had always come natural. I managed to develop them through supervising junior team members with the guidance of my former manager. Leadership is necessary to keep projects team moving in the right direction. Finishing projects on time, on budget, and meeting both technical and business requirements took substantial planning and management skills, especially when half of the team members didn't directly report to me. I've been an IT project manager for over 4 years, managing 9 major projects at this time frame. All those projects are completed on schedule and were considered successes. I also trained 4 team members, so they were promoted to project management positions. My greatest strength is my diplomacy. I had never thought of this as a strength until my managers pointed it out to me. Once they did, I realized it's a skill I can use to benefit everyone involved on the job. Recently, I helped to resolve a situation which was about to go very badly. We had a client make so many demands which seemed unreasonable to our team that we were about to finish our collaboration. Our team and the client were feeling despair over this situation. Through face-to-face meetings that I arranged with all 20 people involved, we were able to re-establish a good relationship and get the project back on track. I was awarded an Employee of the Year award for my efforts to delay the firing and for saving this collaboration. I have a very strong communication skills. Whether it's over the phone, in person, or written, I tend to express myself in a clear and concise manner. I received several positive feedbacks from my manager for solving difficult situations with my communication skills, and I even got an acknowledgement in the company newsletter for just being really good at talking to clients. I think this strength will help me to do well on the job, since being a receptionist requires interfacing with individuals from different backgrounds. I'll be able to make each person feel welcome and that their business is valued.
Keep it short and to the point. Practice a couple of times to make your answer powerful and to answer with confidence. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to this channel using the subscribe button below this video. What are your greatest weaknesses is probably the most hated job interview question by candidates, but it is still being asked in many job interviews. The majority of job seekers are not sure how to approach this question. So in this video, I will share clear guidelines to help you structure your interview response and give you full answers and weaknesses examples to use. There are several ways of answering what are your greatest weaknesses. I personally prefer rephrasing it to what are your greatest development areas. This way, it doesn't suggest or make reference to someone being weak in any way. It can also be asked in other similar ways. What would your manager or colleagues describe as your biggest weakness? Which tasks or duties do you struggle with the most? Which difficulties and issues have arisen in your current role? Is there any area of your skill set that you feel still needs work? From my experience working in recruitment for a long time, I tend to ask this question to candidates which make a big and noticeable effort in selling themselves during the interview. Sometimes they do it without even realizing it. For many hiring managers, it's interesting to hear candidates analyzing their development areas, to hear how reflective they are about their skill set. This question can trip a lot of people up, because no one wants to talk about the less impressive parts of their skills and personality. However, never say you don't have any development areas. I've had candidates saying this to me during the interviews, and the impact is exactly the same as saying that you don't have any ability to learn and to grow. This is the checklist of how to structure your answer before we proceed to full examples. Analyze your development areas. It should be a weakness related to your professional competencies and skills. Answers like, I don't do enough exercise, or I don't speak a certain language well, sound like you are trying to avoid the question. Don't try to disguise a strength as a weakness. Answers like, I work too hard, or I am a perfectionist. These are ridiculous because as a recruiter, you hear them every day. The hiring manager will easily see you through and might label you as someone dishonest. Be honest, but without raising any red flags. Giving an honest answer is really important here. If you make something up, you might not be able to handle the follow-up questions. Pick a weakness acceptable for the role. Don't say you are awful with numbers if you are applying for an accountant job, for example. Explain the measures you took to correct this skill. First part of your answer should reflect on how you detected this weakness. The second part should focus on how you have actively been working on it. The weakness should be something that you could improve through a personal effort. Here are a few examples which should be useful to you. Some of these can be easily adapted to your profile. There is also a bonus example for candidates without professional experience. Example for a position dealing with numbers and data. I never had much experience working directly with clients. That's why my client-facing communication skills definitely need some work. I'm much more comfortable digging into the data and providing the analysis rather than talking about it with a client. I realized that the experience of working with clients directly would be a big help to the way that I present my analysis, so I used every chance to take an opportunity and talk to a client, and I will continue to improve this area of expertise. Example which is more generic. At the beginning of my career, I was overwhelmed with the level and amount of work expected from me. Projects came all at the same time, and I didn't schedule and plan each of the stages properly. Eventually, this made me overlook certain mistakes which I detected further on. Since then, I attended a number of time management seminars, and I have found my workload much more manageable. Each time I'm more productive and detailed, and I continue to work on it. Example which could be a case for many. Public speaking is an area which I should still work on. When I started college, it was a real problem. I was just terrified of doing it, and I ended up ruining my speeches a few times. I decided to take a small step of promising myself that I would speak up in front of small groups, for example in a class. Then I worked up to taking a public speaking class, which made a big difference. Now, even though I get nervous, I feel like it is something that doesn't hold me back. Recently, I gave a speech at a conference. I was still shaking during my speech, but it went great, and I received a really good feedback in the end. I plan on continue to seek out opportunities to improve in this area. Example on being too direct. Sometimes I can be a little too honest when I provide feedback to coworkers. My personality is naturally straightforward, and my colleagues really value that. However, I learned that there are times on the job when more diplomacy is required. I took a training class on how to communicate with power, and it really opened my eyes to the need of communicating differently with different people. So now I'm much better at providing constructive and inspiring feedback, even though it doesn't always come naturally. And the bonus example for candidates without professional experience. As a student, I thought that taking as much responsibility as possible will help me learn and grow faster. Eventually, it turned into not delivering any of my projects on time. I was simply stretched thin in too many areas and not having enough time to deliver with quality. I learned that I'm not at my best when I have too many priorities. I'm now doing my best to reduce some of the less important extracurricular activities and focus on delivering my academic projects with higher quality. This ability to prioritize also helps me in my recent internship. I had several deadlines that were due last week, so I spoke to my supervisor to prioritize the delivery schedule, to focus on both the timing and the quality of the delivery. In the end, all 3 projects were delivered with great results. Keep it short and to the point. Practice a couple of times before the interview to make a stronger impact and to answer with confidence. Tell me about yourself question is a must for every single job interview. Whether it's a phone interview or a face-to-face conversation, this open-ended question always gets asked by recruiters and by employers. There are thousands of ways of answering this what appears to be a casual question, but some of these answers can be quite wrong. If you are looking for a clear response formula for job interview tell me about yourself question, then you are in the right place. I'll also share examples of answers to this question for candidates with professional experience, for students, and for candidates without professional experience. Tell me about yourself question can also be rephrased as please present yourself, describe yourself and your background. And just like most of interview questions, this question is not about you. It's about how you would fit into the role. Before we proceed further, I would like to remind you to subscribe to my channel below and hitting the little bell so you won't miss out on the latest career and personal growth content. And if you stick with me until the end of this video, I'll be sharing with you 4 easily adaptable examples of answers to tell me about yourself, including an example without any professional experience. Prepare and structure a small script to showcase your being a real asset to the company and to the position. Think of the strength you would like the interviewer to remember about you once you leave the interview. The easiest formula to put together your answer effectively is going step by step through your present profile and who you are, your past education, experiences and achievements, your future plans and motivations. Resuming the formula into present, past and future, all relevant to the job description and to what this interview is about. Avoid giving out personal information which is unrelated to your professional performance. This way you will avoid speaking non-stop too. Follow the formula. Present. Your first sentence should be an introduction of who you are professionally. Then an overview statement that shows off your background and gives a little sense of your personality too. Let me show to you with an answer example for each part of this formula. I'm an innovative human resources professional with 10 years of experience managing HR projects, strongly specialized in headhunting and recruitment, talent management and employer branding for international brands, including one of the biggest retail players in the world. One of my favorite functional areas is training and development. I managed to create training programs from the scratch to teach the leadership team how to coach with a growth mindset. Notice that the first line sums up the experience and drops a high-profile employer's name. Most hiring managers assume that if you made it through the hiring process at other well-known companies, you must be very good. Next, mention your strengths and abilities, your proven past successes. Don't assume that the interviewer has closely read your resume and knows your qualifications very well. Briefly highlight a few points from the past that make you stand out. I've been in retail industry during 9 years. One of the reasons I particularly enjoy HR and the challenges to go along with it is the opportunity to connect with people. In my last job, I formed solid internal client relationships, resulting in a 25% decrease of the turnover in just a few months. Conclude with your current or future motivations and interests. Why are you here and why do you want this position? What are your future plans? Concise and positive. Although I love my current role, I feel I'm now ready for a more challenging assignment. I'm a certified senior HR professional and I have an extensive project management and negotiation experience, which would be very useful in this position while implementing cross-cultural projects. Let's practice another full example. I've been working as an administrative assistant for 3 years at my current position in the finance department of the company. I handle scheduling, meeting, and travel planning for 3 executives and 20 staff members. I also help to prepare all the presentations and reports. I'm known for being very detail-oriented and an organized team player. I don't miss deadlines. I'm a good communicator and I can juggle multiple tasks at once. In my performance reviews, my manager always mentions that she appreciates my professionalism and my enthusiasm for the job. I'm currently looking for an opportunity to take the next step in my career. I can definitely imagine my future working at an organization like yours, especially knowing how hard the company works to improve the environment, something which I'm passionate about. Let's check a full answer example for a student without any professional experience. I'm currently a student at the University of Barcelona, where I'm very active in the Student Council. As a representative for my class, I've organized a few fundraising events. I'm a motivated worker and a fast learner. My real strength is my attention to detail. I pride myself for meeting deadlines. When I commit to doing something, I make sure it gets done on time. During volunteering at a local gift store, I realized how much I enjoy customer service
and the retail world in general. I think this position is a great fit and I'm excited about the opportunity.
And the fourth example.
I'm a technical project manager with more than 6 years of experience at top Wall Street companies. Most recently, I led the development of an award-winning new software. I'm a person who thrives in a fast-paced environment. So right now, I'm looking for an opportunity to apply my technical experience and my creative problem-solving skills at the innovative database management company like yours.
Remember, you will have time later to walk through your resume and fill in any gaps. Don't try to squeeze in too much information or your interviewer will tune out. Think of the "Tell me about yourself" answer as of your slightly more extensive business card title. It's about who you are, what you do, and what would you like to do. Keep it short and give your interviewer a chance to ask questions. A good interview is a dialogue, not a monologue. A big error by many candidates is a recitation of their resume from the beginning. This can easily turn into a long monologue, which will easily confuse your interviewer with an information overload. Be sure to practice over and over again until it's perfect and you manage to answer with confidence. You want to catch the interviewer's attention by highlighting the most appealing aspects of yourself. Thanks for watching. If you know someone that might be interested in the video, feel free to share it with them. Make sure you thumb up the video and subscribe to EMMOTION by Marat by using the subscribe button below this video. And check out my next video coming up.